Hi, Victoria Mora here with Victoria E. Mora Realty, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Georgia Properties. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I wanted to put out a little video today for all the first-time home buyers. I'm actually working with a few first-time home buyers right now, and I wanted to help dispel some myths out there and give hope to folks who actually want to make that transition from renting into home ownership. So a couple of things, guys. First of all, I sell real estate here in Metro Atlanta, and I am not a mortgage lender. So I will stay in my own lane. I absolutely have contacts of some wonderful mortgage lenders who will be able to help you and evaluate your current financial situation to see if home ownership is something that you actually can move into right now. But I will talk about what I see as the limiting factors that can actually be overcome. In the Metro Atlanta area, you may have heard that it is a seller's market. It is still a seller's market. That means that there are more buyers than there are houses available in some areas, but that is not the case in all areas or all types of markets. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about. A couple of things. What I do see as limiting factors for folks who want to transition from renting into home ownership. So again, there are a lot of things that the lender is going to be taking into consideration, but let's consider that those things are in line, meaning you've got good, adequate, wonderful credit. You have been in a job and you're making a good income. Those things, so let's take that as a given that that's the situation. The biggest piece that I see that keep folks from being able to buy a home is reserves. And that means the money that you have on hand that you can use for purchasing the home. And those expenses are going to be for the down payment of the home, as well as the closing costs for the home. Now, you may have heard, if you don't own a home already, that down payments typically are 20% of the home, and maybe that's been holding you back. Well, that is not the case for most people. In today's day and age with lending in the conventional loans, you can potentially get a loan for 5% down. And for some people, depending upon their scenario, they may qualify for as little as 3% down. So that's significantly less money that you need in reserves to buy that home than you may have been thinking if you thought you needed to come with 20%. The other piece is closing costs. So closing costs in times past have occasionally been or sometimes paid for in part by the seller. Well, now that we are in a seller's market, that is not typically the case. I am still able to get closing costs for buyers sometimes, and I always try for it when it is appropriate, and because I always want to help my buyers get the best deal. But in this market, that's not something that you can count on because it is still very competitive. So a buyer is going to need to come with the money for the down payment as well as the closing costs. How much are closing costs? Well, that depends on the price of the house. It's going to be a percent of the price of the house, and it is also going to be relative to how much money needs to be escrowed for property taxes and insurance. So the lender's going to be able to tell you that, but that's two pieces that you're going to need to have money for. Now, say, for example, you've been renting a house and you're paying $2,000 a month because that's pretty much where rents are right now, and you have not been able to save up that money. So you are limited in the reserves, but you've got a credit of 802, and you've been working a steady job that's a great income for the last 4 or 5 years. Well, what can you do? You're ready to buy a home, you want to buy a home, but you just simply don't have that money stacked up in the bank for you. Well, you do have some great options. Particularly if you're a first-time home buyer, you may find that you have raving fans in your family base that really want to see you succeed, really want to see you get out of the apartment life and get into a home of your own. And that's great. That is going to really help you. So this is called gift funds. And who can give you gift funds? We're talking about a conventional loan right now. Your blood relatives, relatives by marriage, adoption, or legal guardianship. Additionally, fiance or domestic partner will also qualify to give gift funds. That means that someone else can actually give the money for the down payment and the closing costs. The percent that they can give is going to be dependent on your personal scenarios. So a lender is going to have to give you what that picture would look like. But that is an option. And I see it happen all the time. You know, folks are reluctant to ask their parents to help. And then halfway through the process, their dad comes in and says, by the way, I've been holding on to $10,000 that I plan to give you for your first home. And voila, here it is. So guys, that is a strong option on where to access additional funds so that you can pay your down payment and closing costs. The important thing is, if a family member or any one of those people I just discussed wants to contribute to you buying a home, tell them thank you, but do not take the money, do not move the money around. Your lender is going to be able to advise you very particularly on how to do this, because the one way to bomb out your loan is for your Aunt Sally to drive up from Florida with a sack of $20 bills and throw 20 grand down on the table that she has been holding on to in her mattress. That money you actually will not be able to use. So thank people who want to help you and tell them you will let them know when the timing is right, exactly how to make those moves. Other places you can access cash for your down payment and closing costs, those are 401k, Roth IRAs, and some other IRAs. So you have been paying into these funds and that money is potentially there. Now, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a tax planner. I'm none of those things. So I can't advise you on exactly and particularly how to do that or if that makes sense to you, but it's definitely a consideration, particularly if that's really the only way you can get into home ownership. Look at home ownership like this. Say, for example, you are renting an apartment right now and you're paying $2,000 a month. At the end of the year, that is $24,000 that you have given away to the landlord. The landlord is paying down his or her mortgage. That money is gone. It's like burning it in the street. Yes, you had a roof over your head for a whole year. But here is the difference with home ownership. Home ownership, you take your money from the bank. Each month when you pay your mortgage, it goes over here. This is the equity that you are building in the home. When you sell that house, all that is accumulated over here, you get to put it back over here. Essentially, you are paying yourself. You're putting money from one of your piggy banks into another piggy bank for you that you can access at a later time. Think about that, chew on that, and understand that value. This is how you grow your net worth. I am going to also talk about having an open mind. You're buying your first house and you envisioned it has a picket fence, a small yard for your dog, beautiful shutters around the window, and flower beds in the front yard. And that may be possible, but I will tell you a market that you can get into here in the metro area. Say, for example, you still work in the city. You can get into a condo. There are condos for sale. There are condos under $200,000 with HOAs under $500. This will put you into a mortgage, a monthly mortgage that is likely less than what you are paying in your rent right now. I am working with first-time homebuyers, so I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, there are condos for sale. There are nice places. You know, if it is a cream puff property, meaning it's absolutely perfect and needs nothing, yes, it is likely to still be competitive, but I see more homes available in the condo market than in any other market right now. Keep an open mind if you want to be a homeowner. Keep an open mind. I can help you to find a place that is going to still keep you close to your work and be affordable to you. There is one other piece, and that is having an open mind of geography. I'm going to do a whole nother video on that because that will absolutely open many, many more doors to you. And so I'll do a whole nother video on that. But look at gift funds as an option for your down payment and closing costs. Keep an open mind to the condo market and don't expect perfection. Look at this as the way to put more money into your piggy bank, a stepping stone as you grow your net worth. It's a stepping stone into home ownership. Guys, Victoria Moore, thanks so much for tuning in. Look forward to doing that other video. And if there's any other content that you're interested in, please drop a line below. I'd be happy to address it. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Reach out anytime and have a super day.